health needs will become eligible for affordable insurance coverage for their treatment needs according to the 2011 National Survey on Drug Use and Health. We must ensure that all these individuals are successfully enrolled into coverage, and whereas to help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, the Substance Abuse and Mental Services Administration, the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, and the King County Mental Health and Chemical Abuse and Dependency Services Division invite all residents of the City of Pacific to participate in National Recovery Month. Now, therefore, I, Leanne Geyer, Mayor, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2013 as National Recovery Month in the City of Pacific, and call upon the people of the City of Pacific to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies to support this year's theme. Join the Voices for Recovery together on Pathways to Wellness. Thank you very much. And witnesser, I have here to set my hand on this 12th day of August. Thank you. I do that. So, and there's just a couple other things that I wanted to report on as far as my report. I think Lieutenant Massey may expand on this. There was a suspicious package found here today at City Hall, and the employees did the right thing and called the police, reported it. The building was evacuated. The police did call in the bomb squad. Everybody's okay. It was not anything in it, but the employees did the right thing to call. We want everybody to be safe. And I'm sure, like I said, Lieutenant Massey will probably expand upon that. Saturday night, we had a bunch of veteran Marines doing a 100-mile run. They started in Seattle Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and had this big loop that went around. On Tuesday, I just happened to be reading an email from Mayor Lewis that they were going to be coming through Pacific. It looked like they were going to hit Pacific about 10:45, according to the person I contacted on Saturday night, and I wanted to honor them for what they were doing. They were running for awareness of brain injury disease, PTSD, and traumatic brain injury survivors. And this is the first run that they have done in King County. They've done 2 other runs. And these gentlemen, there were 10 of them, I think about 12 when they hit here, but 2 of them made the whole 100-mile run that started in Seattle at 9 o'clock in the morning and ended in Seattle Sunday morning. I think they got there around 9:30. So I put a little blurb out there, thanks to Jean Fancher. She helped with that. The police put it on the reader board. I contacted people. Other council members contacted people. I think we had about 30 people out here to honor these veterans as they came through Pacific. And as it turned out, this was also a rest stop for them as well. So we provided them with water. And again, we thought they were going to get here about 10:45. When the support crew showed up, they said they're about an hour and a half behind. And so I was really worried how we were going to keep everybody here. And so I offered pizza, they stayed. And so I figure food usually works. Anyway, so once again, it shows me why I love this city so much, that everybody showed up, participated, and really cheered these guys on. It meant a lot to them. By the time they made it to Pacific, they were about 75 miles into this run. And they were hurting and moving kind of slow, and it was a struggle, but it really gave them a big boost to get here. And Clint, they handed out T-shirts for everybody that was here. Clint's modeling the shirt for us this evening. And I meant to bring it in. I'm really sorry, but I was also handed a special challenge coin that came from the Marines for their 100-mile run. I was very honored to receive that. So again, I would like to thank everybody in Pacific that showed up and cheered these guys on. And round of applause.
Yeah.
And Councilman Walker and Councilman Steiger were there as well. That was great. They really appreciate it. And we just sang Kumbaya. Yes, we did in the parking lot. What else? What else? Lighter for a fire. Okay. So I just want to remind everybody that the Terry Home Show and Shine is in Pacific City Park this weekend from 8 until 4. Trophies are right around 3:30. Attendance is free. Spectators are free. The only charge is for the food and the entry. I'm right now working with Auburn Algona. I've talked to their human resources staff, and we have devised an interview team to hire a new city clerk. And as you know, the city is in dire need of a city clerk, and we want to make sure we get the right one. And reached out to experts in the field to help with the interview process. I have a few applications that will be able to start doing that. But with everything that's going on, I would like to entertain a motion from council. I would entertain a motion from council if we could appoint Betty Garrison as our acting city clerk until we get one hired.
I move to approve appointment of Betty Garrison as the acting city clerk. The mayor completes the selection and the council approves the new city clerk. Just the fact that we have legal requirements from the city and the state, and make sure that our documents are accurately documented by the city clerk, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything above board and legal, so that we don't have any discussions going on.
Any other comments from council?
I think you or Ms. Garrison will correct me if I'm wrong. I think Betty is also a certified municipal clerk, so she's well qualified to do that job.
I'd also just note that you've been performing most of the duties of that job for an extended period during the absence of the city clerk, and has been doing I wouldn't want to be doing both the finance director job and the city clerk job for this long for in an 8-hour day or a 12-hour day.
Any other comments from council? Anybody, or any comments from the audience? Any further comments from council? All those in favor of the motion for, should we do a roll call or just go ahead and do a voice vote? Okay. All those in favor of the motion for appointing Betty as our interim city clerk until we have one hired?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you very much, I appreciate that. I'm also in the process of still hiring activity coordinator / bus drivers. Our team needs help over there, but we're actively moving forward with that. And I would also like to introduce our interim finance director, our temp finance director. Where did he go? Richard Gold, the council. This is Richard Gold. He's been working here for about 2 weeks now. Yeah. He's helping out Betty. I've given them a very strong task. Council's approved me to hire him, and him and Betty have a task, and they're going to try to have some budget numbers for council by the 26th. So we're working on it. It's a big order, and they're going to try really hard to have that to accomplish that. So I wanted council to have the opportunity to meet him. I know I hadn't brought him here formally, and I wanted to
I've been working in the city. We really have a pretty city. We have a lot of work to do, but that's great.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate being here tonight. Okay, and the last item on my list is Channel 21. Trent is working on a PowerPoint, and I'm going to go easy on him tonight because it is his wedding anniversary, and he came to the meeting. But he is working on getting Channel 21 up and running. We've made some great strides in that, and I think we should have it. Okay. So that ends my report. Next item is court report, and those are in your packets, and then public safety. Now that you're trapped.
Lieutenant Acting Pacific Police Department. Just a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to thank our mayor for organizing that welcoming committee for that 100-mile run event. I was approached by several members that were either escorting the group or the runners themselves, and they were not expecting the reception which they received in Pacific that late hour, and they were just overwhelmed with the support that this small city extended to them. So thanks for organizing that and putting Pacific in a good light. Recently, we've had 2 officers that were hired. The city gave us the approval to hire 2 officers, and I'd just like to report that we have 1 officer already in the street and handling calls and working a shift. And then the second officer, he's in his 10th day of training, and that training will continue for a 3-month period, and he'll be accompanying another officer during that training period for 2 months, and then the last month he'll be shadowed. So I just wanted to give you that report that we're grateful that we were able to have 2 more officers that we could add to our organization and provide the community with that additional service that I know that they've been looking forward to receiving. As you mentioned today, we received a call at about 12:06 this afternoon from a city employee regarding a suspicious item that was on the front steps, the west end of City Hall, and it was a bag containing unknown items that was left unattended. So we followed the police department procedures and protocol by evacuating the building until we could determine what the contents were of that bag. And we shut off traffic here, several blocks in all directions, and we contacted the Federal Way bomb disposal unit, and they showed up. They showed up with their bomb technicians and their mechanical robot as a backup, and we're happy to report that at 2:15, the contents of the bag were determined to be safe, and we were able to open up the roadways. And I know it was an inconvenience for some people, but we don't live in a perfect world, and sometimes we have to do what we need to do just to make sure that people are safe and not take chances. So that city employee that did make that report, she did do the right thing, and I commend her for taking that action and bringing it to our attention. My last item is on September 20th. We're going to be holding another open house at the police station, and for those who have not attended one of our open houses, we invite them to attend, and it'll go from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock in the evening. And I know you mentioned that September is National Recovery Month, and maybe there's something we can implement as part of our displays that can kind of highlight that, and it's something that we would consider if we had some ideas presented to us. But that concludes my report. Does anyone have any questions?
When you say "we" out there on this bomb scare out there, who are you talking about? It was Auburn. What I seen out there was Auburn and Algona was here and it took Pacific Police almost half an hour before I seen any of them down around here.
Well, sometimes your observations aren't a complete observation. I was there, and we have.
You were here an hour after.
Okay, Lieutenant Massey, I appreciate that you answering the question, but the questions would be from council.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do have one question. I think it's probably part of your after-action protocol, but bomb scare, unattended package, probably a better way to say it. I think it's perhaps a good test of how our plans work. So was there anything that you noticed in our plans and procedures that we should do differently next time, or do you feel like it actually worked as it was supposed to?
Well, Officer Joe West was working the day shift, and I was off, but he followed the right steps by notifying me of what was transpiring. When I received the notification, the Auburn units had already responded, as well as Algona, and they were taking up their positions, and Officer West was the incident commander until a senior officer showed up, which was me, and then I monitored the event until its conclusion. I thanked Officer West with the way that he managed the road closures. I think that everything was done quite well as far as securing the scene. Worst case scenario, I think we had everything covered, and I think everything was done appropriately.
So the plan for it?
Yes.
Any other questions from council? Thank you, Lieutenant. Okay, Public Works, were you going to give a report for Ken, or just report on what he had on the agenda?
Just a report we had on the agenda.
Great, okay. So Ken's on his honeymoon, so that is why he's not. Friend came in on his anniversary, Anyways, so he'll be back next week. Community services, just a couple items on the agenda. I had told Darcy that I would like her to come and give council on that date at our next council meeting, but I haven't.
I'll just wait till it gets to that.
Okay. So, any reports from council?
Well,
Okay, Councilman Jones.
related to the human services, but I got your email about contacting Darcy, and then, so I will come down tomorrow and meet with her and try to set up and establish, and I'll notify everybody next Monday of the meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anything else? Any other reports from council? So, we have your report from personnel. Committees and boards. Anybody from Park Board have a report tonight? Civil Service? Planning Commission? State Board meets the third Tuesday. I will be there. And then SCA meets Wednesday, so no report for that. How about a report from Valley Regional Fire Authority?
The Board of Governors met this past Thursday, pretty light agenda. Surplus a really old fire apparatus from the city of Auburn. Their cycle kind of goes, there's active duty and then it goes to reserve, and then it becomes a training vehicle, and they surplus it. They've been working on surplusing it for a while, and they have a jurisdiction to need, so they kind of sped the process up a little bit, so they're selling that. And then there was some funding allocated for asphalt repairs in 2 of the stations. If we didn't do it now, we'll be grabbed by the building fees and stuff. And then we got just a quick brief on budget and revenues and expenditures are lining up like they should for activity.
Any other reports?
Just a notification that the Pierce County Regional Council canceled the next month, Thursday meeting.
Okay. Great, thank you. Okay, that being the end of the report, we'll go ahead and open up the first public hearing on the medical